Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Replacements. This is an animated series. It's so far only one season. It's from 2006. I'm guessing that it was a one and done. I think there's about 21 episodes on it. They're about 23 minutes each, the standard animated series um, length. But like many animated series on this or Nickelodeon or whatever, Cartoon Network, these are two stories per episode. So they're about 11, 12 minutes each, matched up, 11 minutes each. And I watched the first three episodes, so it's about six stories. It's a story of two tween siblings who I guess were orphans. The theme song pretty much sets up the entire concept of the show. Somehow they have a connection with a piece of technology that lets them replace anybody on a whim. Like if they don't like their high school principal or the mayor of their town or whatever, they replace them with, they press a button and they communicate with a company, some mysterious corporation that then just goes in, finds a way to replace that teacher with that person with somebody cooler. Currently, they have it all happened as a result of being with their parents, the parents people who adopted them. One of which is past his prime stuntman who kind of looks like Elvis in a way, and his wife is an international spy. It's just a mishmash of things. Unfortunately, the parents, which sound like they would be interesting, are not used except for really short side bits that sometimes help the main story, sometimes don't. They're just like, hey, well, this makes sense to maybe include mom in this one, and she'll use her spy knowledge to solve the problem. It doesn't really always happen that way. It's just sort of like, hey, there's a funny bit we can use, and she's going to overdo the spy thing in order to solve the problem. They're like, whoa, you're really overdoing it here. Same with Dad. Dad is dumb as Homer Simpson, and probably from crashing way too many times in his career. He's dresses like Evel Knievel. For you younger kids, that was a very prominent stuntman in the 70s. But yeah, this guy, he just sort of overdoes the configuration of his stunts. Like he has a golf cart. He has a talking car, which again, not really sure why it's there. It shows up at times for funny bits. But the dad, like he soups up a golf cart by putting a rocket under it and then considering a souped up golf cart. It's just a rocket with a golf cart strapped to it. A lot of things are funny. There's a number of pop culture references throughout, and some things actually stick. Like when the kid is the boy Todd, of the brother and sister pairing, voiced by Nancy Cartwright, by the way, the always a younger brother. Oh no, he's the older brother. Bart is the older brother in The Simpsons, older than Maggie and Lisa, but he plays a younger brother in this pairing. Nancy Cartwright plays Bart and Todd. Let's clear that up. So, sorry. And Todd, whenever things get difficult for him, he's more prone to use these things. She sometimes suggests things that Todd pulls the trigger on, and they, through the course of whatever replacement gets put in there, they kind of learn a lesson as to, I guess, cutting corners or getting what they ask for isn't always what they want. That's kind of the premise of the show, and it's done fairly consistently. I don't know, maybe I was a little distracted. I'm not sure, but it didn't really click with me. The characters are all right. I love the voice talent in it. Like I said, Nancy Cartwright, Dietrich Bader is in it. You know him from The Office and King of the Hill. He's in a ton of Mike Judge's stuff. He does voiceover stuff. He did the Drew Carey Show and things like that. And also Rob Paulson, Pinky and the Brain, Animaniacs, things like that. So there's a ton of notable voices in this. I was surprised that I didn't recognize Nancy Cartwright right from the start. I didn't go, oh, that's Bart Simpson. Todd actually sounded more like Pamela Adlon at first, but it's maybe it was in the first episode. I have no idea. I didn't check. But when I looked at the credits in the third episode I watched here, it was Nancy Cartwright. So I don't know. But yeah, there's lots of wackiness that ensues. It's kids who were given a bum rap. You would now suddenly having the power of gods, in a sense, of a corporation, to change their fate, make things easier. Todd wants to get protection from a bully, and he doesn't get that. And for some reason, somehow he is able to switcheroo with somebody to get a robot that will protect him. But soon everybody's seen as a threat. And even at one point, I don't want to give away how Todd defeats it, but it's still the idea that, it's always overkill. That's the lesson when you choose something that you think is better. They don't like the librarian in the school, and she's suddenly given a job somewhere else. She gets an opportunity, and and in comes another woman who looks really mysterious at first, and then she throws off her trench coat, and she turns out to be a rock star. And everybody's just rocking out all the time in the library, where it's the opposite of quiet, and nobody gets any studying done. And the only person who is not in the library all the time rocking out is one of the bullies. And so technically, by default, he gets the best. He's going to get the best grade when it comes to the report they're supposed to get put in, because he's the only one who bothered to do it. And then they have to always roll back, try to get things back to normal. Some things stick, like I said earlier, and I didn't give an example. At one point, Todd didn't want to learn anything, and he couldn't remember who the first president of the United States was, and there was clues everywhere. A quarter here, a painting on the wall, and there's stuff everywhere. He remembered George, and then he just goes, stapler. And the robot, the teacher's like, no, that's completely wrong. The robot's like, are you sure? And then she gets really afraid. Like, again, he becomes the bully because by proxy through this robot. So she's like, no. She goes through the book. It's like, no, of course it is. It's George Stapler. And they literally have to change the name of the school, which is George Washington Elementary or whatever it is. And the episode after that, it was still George Stapler Elementary. So it was something stick, and and there are funny bits, but for the most part, it really didn't click. It didn't really make me go, oh my god, this is just ingenious writing and animation and everything else. It's not bad, and I think there might be some people who really get a kick out of it, because again, there's really talented people involved with this, but for the most part, I guess it really didn't jive. Maybe I'm just having a bad day. If I revisit it sometime, maybe I'll get more into it. But yeah, to me, it could be a lot better. And I think if there was actually some other continuity that would give some backstory as to how his parents, or behind his parents, and how their parents adopted them and everything else. I know it's all in the theme song or whatever, but yeah, I guess I skipped the titles way too many times the 2 times after the first time, and it didn't get drilled into my head. But it seems pretty high concept. I would like to see it would have been more fleshed out. Maybe it does that in later episodes. And what happened to their parents? Why are they orphans? And what's this company behind everything? And maybe that all gets figured out towards the end of the series, or the season, or whatever it is, and the series. But yeah, sorry. I don't know if I can really super recommend this. It's if you watched every other animated show on Disney Plus, give it a shot, see what you think. But yeah, I can't go, oh my god, this is amazing. So sorry guys. Let's pick tomorrow's. All right. rate. 55. Ooh, really low. I have a feeling we did 55 already. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. It's a series, and I'm not sure what it is. It could be animated, could be something else. But 55 is Best Friends Whenever. Best Friends Whenever. So yeah, we're going to watch Best Friends Whenever. Probably just a few episodes, as usual, unless it's super short. But I really doubt that's the case. You know, the Disney rule of 3 or 4 seasons, 3 seasons, I think, is guaranteed in most cases when it comes to live action anyway. We'll see. But I'll talk to you tomorrow when we, after we get a glance at Best Friends Whenever. See you then.